All right, my solo developer friends, my solo friends, our hors d'oeuvres of the evening will be looking through some Reddit posts to get a broad temperature on what others like y'all and me are feeling about solo development. And then I'm gonna pop over to not Notion to here, and I'm gonna drop five tips from my experience about solo development that I think will help you in your journey. But first, let's see what the world out there is saying. So this is from our programming third year as a solo developer, which by itself is an accomplishment. Let's see what we got here. So we're contemplating going solo. I wonder if it's a good idea. It takes a long time to create. I don't think the product has to be novel even. Okay, so some up and back and forth about what to do. He did it before he started a family, and he saw that as an advantage because doing it with kids would be a lot harder. Okay. If you give up on everything after 2 months, you'll miss opportunities to build products that would succeed. Yep. There's actually more risk on the other side. If you spend a year building something and nobody has paid you for it, there's a huge chance that you're going to release it and find that it's not a product people are willing to spend money on, for sure. I don't think these are specific to solo developers. I think this is just trying to reach excellence in any realm. It's harder when you just have more responsibilities, and it's harder if you get fewer reps by not releasing. Don't build something you find interesting and assume you'll be able to sell it. Okay. Standard startup advice, don't hide in your basement and just build alone. Although it is easier to do that when you're solo, for sure. So I think it's good to be aware that the tendency to just keep coding by yourself before releasing it is going to be strong, and it's good to be aware that you can't listen to that. This is one from a solo game developer, and let's see. He's basically saying the same thing. It's get real. You have to release. Um, get real about it's going to cost a lot of your time and free time. Since it was gaming and he's creating a game, he's talking about how you're just not going to be playing video games anymore because you're going to be creating them. You're not going to be on Instagram as much anymore and just passively scrolling. It's going to be harder with friends and family. And his tip is to have fun. Co-sign that for sure. Here's an open question. Any solo developers out there? The answers are actually developers who were solo, like, okay, by trade they coded and they were solo, but their product isn't necessarily a product, it's a service, which is agencies, or sometimes there's like a one-off payment for like a website template. Here's another one with an agency and freelancing. So it's like a middle ground. So they're on their own and they're coding, but it's not like a product that has enterprise value on its own. It comes with the need to put in time. So now you're just changing from being a normal developer paid through the company to being a normal developer paid through the company that you own, so you're paying yourself. This guy, I liked his response because he's keeping it real. He just had a divorce. He's starting from the bottom, no job, no savings, little debt, no home, staying with his parents, and he's just trying to make something to get some cash flow for his train subscription, child support, groceries, and the apps he needs. That's real, bro. Like, we can all talk about how code is infinitely scalable and we can reach people cheaply through organic social, and but that stuff takes time. So I think I'm a big fan of getting quick wins as someone who's deferred value for a long time on the solo journey. Just setting things up where it's like, okay, let me pay for my train subscription, and my mail is legit. Props. Okay, a couple more. I'm going to speed run these. Basically, this guy's overwhelmed. He's overwhelmed. He's feeling it, as he admits. It's easier to get overwhelmed when you're solo. And here's some advice, some technical advice about the stack you can use, LLMs. Here's one he's asking for people who have done it before. And they're basically saying normal stuff. Okay, cool. Hors d'oeuvres, done. My tips. So a little background about me. I had been solo for I'd say 2 years, and then I mixed in some people with contractors, designer, some YouTube editor. So I haven't had employees, but I've also been working with people, and now I'm in a cadence where I'm working with one other guy, and we're doing stand-up twice a week and working pretty independently, but it's not like it's just me anymore. And here's what I learned about all this. Some tips. First tip is simplifying the delivery. I'm saying delivery because this could be your product as just an app on the App Store, but it could be your service too. So to do that, I would suggest picking one platform. I know you can write in React and ship it cross-platform, but I would recommend not doing that. Also, okay, so I'm talking web, desktop, mobile, PWA. I don't even know if we're still doing those anymore. Electron. Desktop here means like native desktop. Desktop here means cross-platform desktop. Okay, so pick one of those. Web is great because there's no third party. Or even better, honestly, would be a marketplace. I would say simplifying and narrowing. Here we go. Simplify and narrow delivery. That lets me talk about the marketplace. So if you have a marketplace, you're on the Slack store or Slack marketplace. A new one, like 2 years ago, is the GPT store, or I forget what they call it, OpenAI situation. There will be for sure more. What was another big one? Salesforce has you're building apps on someone else's platform that you don't have to manage. It's going to be a lot easier. They're going to take care of so much stuff. Shopify. They're going to take care of so much stuff, and you're going to be able to ship and get the feedback and have access to customer base. And yeah, you'll hear there's platform risk, because what if Shopify or Salesforce changes what kind of apps they care about? What if they cannibalize you and just make their own app? And for sure, legit risks. But I would say the risk of going slow and doing too much by complicating things is far greater than those other risks. So that was first one. Second is de-risk your health. Someone in one of those forums talked about how he got back pain because he was typing so much and not taking breaks. You see a lot of people talking about carpal tunnel and hand pain, and while I actually think those symptoms are overblown, I think there is something to be said about how unhealthy it is to develop. And when no one's making you go out to eat, when no one's talking to you, when you don't have to have a gym membership or to commute on your bike or go on a train, it's easy to just like let yourself become a zombie. And it'll catch up to you, since this is a long game as a solo developer. You will be going slower than if you had a team. So I would say in a year or two, the health stuff will catch up to you. So what I recommend is having a routine. And along the same lines, I would say de-risk your social sanity. What I mean is just like I'll say mental health. That's better. Same problems as physical. You're not going to be around people. It's going to be easy to just keep coding by yourself. So what I recommend here is join a non-tech community that meets regularly. They won't be asking frequently. They won't be asking about your app. They won't know what you even do really. And that's the kind of point. You can just step away from it all and just be a human. And bonus if it works in with your health. So maybe a yoga group, maybe some kind of boxing class or what. You'll figure it out. You can combine those. Next. Simplify de-risking. Pick something you effing love. It's just going to be a lot easier. You won't rely on motivation as much. Simple as that. 1, 2, 3. So that was 4. And then my last tip is don't. Don't go solo. Let me break this down a little more because I hear the resistance. You're like, I'm self-reliant. I don't like working for a boss. I just want to code. I hate all these meetings. I hear that. But you're not going to completely get rid of your responsibility because now you're going to have to sell. And you're also going to be accountable to your users, customers. So it's not like you just don't have a boss or a schedule or any, like you're going to have to have some parts of it that you don't like. I do hear you on the ownership part. If you're like ownership, if you're like, well, I can code and why don't I own the code? I might as well own it myself and get the leverage of when I hit that hockey stick growth, product market fit. I hear that. That's, I think, the best case for being an entrepreneur, a development entrepreneur. However, if you want to have like hockey stick big growth, I would argue it's really hard to do that solo unless it's super narrow. So to give you examples, say this was only web and then there's one guy behind it. This is like a simple planner app. They have it on mobile, so I think there's a team behind it, but we can see the numbers. 14,000 active users. That's good scale. So you can make a lot of money on that, but look they have social media accounts. They're on the app stores. They're on web. They have an iPad app. Like there's a good amount of complexity here for even a simple product. And we're not even talking about getting the word out and all the other extra stuff they have to do. So it has to be super simple if you're trying to do this for leverage. Here's a good example. This guy, I just found him on Reddit a couple hours ago, and Dev as Life, he has an app. It seems like he's solo. Note taking, it's like Markdown note taking. I haven't tried it, but I'm sure it's great. And he's on YouTube, and he's hit traction here. So he has organic growth. He can funnel users there. He has churn down, but let's see how long it took him. He's been making videos for 10 years, I guess on and off, figuring things out, talking about how to be good at development for 6 years now. So it's not like you can just pull up on YouTube and have this swarm of an audience and funnel them into your app like this guy has. But you can get there. It's just going to take a while. So again, what if you found a co-founder and your co-founder just loves the market and you just want to build the product? Now you can team up, and instead of getting there in 6 years, maybe you get there in 3 years. So you can mitigate a lot of the things you hate about your job or venture capital or other things by just finding a co-founder or teammates. You can hire part-time contractors to do the stuff you don't like. Whatever it is, it's DevOps. You don't like DevOps. You don't like Video editing, that was me. I really didn't like video editing because it took so much time, and I found an editor who's great at it, who does the long forms for me, while I can focus on coding and researching and things like that. Um, and then also there is like a myth of the self-reliant man, the self-reliant developer who just doesn't need anyone, can exist on his own, the lone wolf who can just be outside of society. And I think that's overhyped. We're meant to talk to people, bro. We're meant to move around. We're meant to share ideas. We're meant to challenge each other and get into arguments sometimes about product things. We're meant to talk to customers and be disappointed with the results and go through that with other people. So if you're solo developing and you're solo in life, like you're single and you're in those formative years, um, like it's not as fun as it sounds. It's almost like maybe you guys feel this if you've been remote for a while. I've been remote for like 5 years, and it's like, bro, I miss the office. I miss people, having people around. Yeah, I like the freedom. It's cool, but we're not wired to work like this forever. So I'm trying to push back about this idea that, oh, I'll just be a solo developer and everything will be great. There's some serious trade-offs with being solo too. So there's my cute list. Let me know what I missed from the solo developers out there. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Thanks for your time. See you in the next one.